Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the New Hampshire Business Show. My name is Chris Pastrana, and today we're here with Keesha Hargis from Othello Marketing. How's it going?
It's great. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic.
Good.
So let's get started. Tell me a little bit about yourself and then the business.
So again, my name is Keesha Hargis. I'm here in New Hampshire, and I've been here for a long time. I've been in marketing forever. It seems like half of my life. And I really enjoy, working with social media, all the new things that are out there, all the beautiful things that we can work with. And I started Othello Marketing Agency just recently, in the last couple of months. And we really focus on helping the small business and trying to get them caught up to speed and help them with how to manage all the marketing and social media elements that are new to them, and really helping them to jump into that pool like head on and face it and manage their reputations and have a beautiful website for people to come to.
That's pretty cool. So what's your primary focus? I know, as we were kind of talking about beforehand, when you get into social media and marketing, that can cover a huge area. Yes. So what's kind of your focus?
So really, the funny thing about me is, before this I did fashion. And so visuals are really my thing. I love beautiful things. And so when I created this company, the thought was, I want to make people's content beautiful. I want to give someone something great to look at when they're looking at what you offer, not just here's the product. And so we thought websites and social media are really where you're going to hit that. So building a beautiful website. Most companies have websites. When they were last updated, I'm not sure. And so bringing them up to now, utilizing the tools that are available when you're building a website, making it interactive and a beautiful customer experience is one focus. The second side is the social media focus, and just making sure that your visuals are consistent and that you're templated and that your messaging is consistent to make sure that as a business, your story, your vision, and who you are coming through. Those are our two main focuses.
Okay, that's pretty cool. So why marketing?
Well, oddly enough, I kind of fell into marketing. I went to school for massage therapy.
Okay.
Landed in fashion, and then, had a family and needed to do some things that were consistent. And so I started out as a receptionist in a day job and rolled into communications and then rolled into marketing. And so when I hit marketing, there were so many elements. We had a small team, and so I kind of touched a lot of different things.
Yeah. And
I realized I have a passion for it. It's something that I really enjoy, and you can never stop learning. There's so much to offer that it's something that I feel like I can grow the rest of my working days and never know all of it. And so I really enjoy that aspect of marketing.
That's pretty cool.
Thanks.
I like that. So massage therapy to fashion to marketing. That's pretty scattered.
It is. You know what? But when you think about it, it's all customer experience, very customer focused.
Yeah.
And between the fashion and the marketing is very visual. It's just something that, people are creative in different ways. There are musicians, there are artists, there are fashion designers, and I feel like this day and age, there's so many ways to combine a lot of the creative elements into one thing, and that one thing is marketing. When you're marketing, you can market anything, especially when you're working with clients. They're all different types of businesses. So it allows me to be creative, not necessarily having to own what they do, but being able to make it look great.
That's pretty cool. I like that. Yeah, and I could totally see the owning it thing, like, because each company is its own. They all have their own styles and what they want to see out of it. So that's pretty cool. So how do you go about, when you get a new company on, you look at what they have, and how do you kind of guide them and direct them down where you kind of want them to go, or what they want to see but can't portray and all that?
So it depends on what side of the spectrum they land on. When I'm looking at clients, most of the time they need both a website and a social media presence. Yeah. It's very rare that they have a great website, but they're not doing social media. And so I look at the type of business they are, because although social media is huge and, every company will tell you need to be on social media, there are companies that are super small, 2-man team, that everything they do is old school word of mouth, and they don't necessarily need social media at the moment. They need a website that's going to show that they're here, relevant, and still updating what they do. Yeah. So that when the new set of clients come in, it's not like these people haven't updated this site since the 90s. Like I don't want to buy from them. And so when I have someone on that spectrum, I focus on their website first. and we work through the content and making sure that their voice is right, and then we talk about social media and how to make the voice on the website come through on their social media.
Okay.
When I have a company who's kind of equal with their social media and their website's decent, their social media, it exists, but it might not be great. We talk about more the base, what their voice is, what they do, how they see themselves, and what they want people to see when they visit either or their social or their website. And then we take that and we put together a plan as to, okay, we want to up your social presence, but we want it to look and feel like this. We want it mimicked in the website. So when we do these updates, everything across the board is going to be updated. It's all going to look like it belongs together. It's going to look like your company and your voice. And so that's how we do it from that side.
Okay. Okay. It's a good approach.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. Good. So what do you thought? You said some companies don't need social media right away because they're either too small or old school.
Not that they're too small. I think even a small company, a one-man team can use social media because word of mouth is not just word of mouth anymore. It is online people talking about you. Word of mouth is coming through digitally, and so you have to expect that. When I say I don't think that small companies need it right away, it's because they don't get it. And so to start off a company in the social media landscape when they have a website that's not ready for people to look at or hasn't been updated in forever doesn't make sense, because they need to have their website solid first. They need to have that piece that they've had forever working properly, updated, and speaking of who they are.
Yeah.
And then social media comes. Because honestly, if you are on social media and it's doing what it's supposed to be doing, you're getting clients in and you're funneling them to your website. You're sending them somewhere to get more information, to book an appointment, to buy something, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So if we start on social media and send them to the website that's not up to date, you're going to lose them.
Yeah.
And so we always start website first with smaller businesses who just really need it. And it's usually, the older generation who are used to doing things a certain way, and that's the way they've always done it. And so websites they get, websites they understand, and so that's where I like to start, to make people comfortable before rolling them into the land of social media, which is so much.
Yeah, and when you start getting down the road of getting everything integrated, there's a lot that goes into websites and social media. Just those two things combined can be pretty crazy.
Yes.
So I could definitely see getting one up and running. Now, for companies that don't even have websites, they only have social media pages. Is that something you'd recommend for a small company, or do you try to navigate around that?
So I think you see in this day and age, a lot of entrepreneurs run their businesses off of social media only, right? They say nobody uses a website. There's no point in having a website. And there's all these different tools that you can use to have all your links in one place and drive to all different sorts of landing pages, which, if it works for them, great, but I feel like it's not streamlined. That's not something that we would recommend. It's great to have one place that represents you, right? And funnel everything to that place.
Yeah.
It's less confusing for your audience. It's less confusing on your business cards, for one, and anywhere that you represent yourself, than having 17 different links to different places that they can find you.
Yeah.
We always recommend a website, starting with the website. If a company starts with social media and they don't have a website, we want to transition them into a website. Definitely.
Yeah. I think predominantly, from what I've seen, like you said, it's a really good focal point. So, like, it's that one place that, okay, at least they have a website. Yeah, you can find them on Google. If they're a brick and mortar, you get them on maps. So they have a spot.
Exactly.
They exist.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
people are looking for that. As much as social media, like I said, it's the age of social media. People expect you to be on social media. Yeah. But before all else, they expect you to have a website, to show that you're a legit company.
Yeah. That's kind of interesting that's kind of the idea behind being a legit company. Not like the government thing. It's, you got a website. Like, you have some sort of digital presence.
Yes. Well, that's the way people search for things now. And even when you're being recommended, word of mouth with someone, they're going to pull out their phone and look you up. That's just the way people work these days. And so when you don't have a digital presence at all, you kind of get left behind. There are those customers that you have that will always be your customers, that will recommend you to their family, and of course you got the family business. But then if you're trying to bring in a new generation or a new subset of customers, they're going to look for you online, whether it be through social media channels or through Google, trying to find your website.
Yeah. So this is always a fun question, because, like I said, we could go down a billion roads when we talk about marketing.
Mm-hmm.
How do you keep up with it all?
Oh, my husband. So my husband's my business partner, and he balances me very well. I am a go-getter personality, so I will work around the clock between momming and husbanding and keeping the house straight. It is just a drive that I have, and so I won't put it down until it is done.
Yeah.
I also try to look at my clients' needs. So if there's something and it's on deadline, that's our obviously priority. But if there's something that is like, okay, we're going to work on your voiceover this next month, it's just finding balance and making sure that we make progress every week and that I'm working on their pace as well. Because I have learned that you can be too fast-paced for your client. So you can be like, we need all of these things. And really, they just need bite-sized bits to get the information that you need gathered, especially when building a website or trying to create a voice for them. It's 1 or 2 questions at a time.
Yeah.
And just keep it moving down the road instead of all the questions that you might come up with. As a marketer, it can be confusing and it can be overwhelming.
Yeah.
And so I manage it all by working with the customers and how they like to be managed, with the balance of how they need to be managed, as well as just depending on my group, my structure, to make sure that I'm not driving myself crazy and balancing.
Yeah. So this is always interesting. I always ask it, how is it working with your husband?
So, oddly enough, my husband and I have worked on a couple of businesses together, and we're both very ambitious. He has a tattoo shop, and I have marketing, and we've done things in the past together. And so we know when we're home, work is off. But when we work together, we balance each other very well. We're both creatives, but in a different way. And so it brings a whole nother viewpoint and vision to what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
And it allows me to take a step back. When, you're a one-man team, you're so much in your own head. And it's nice to have a different point of view and look at things from another light. And so that's what he provides for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
And you're able to actually just shut it off when you get home?
We are. Yeah, oddly enough. I think it's the years of doing it. In the beginning it was hard because everybody wants to get things done and they have their own vision and they want to see it get done the way that they'd like it. But we've learned what the buttons are and where the push points are, and home is a no-go.
That's pretty good. Because
Yeah.
I do not have that ability. So my wife does her own thing, and I do business. So
Yes.
I cannot separate those. So I could not imagine trying to work with her.
Yes, it can be hard. It can be challenging, but we figured it out.
It's good. I'm glad there's a good balance there.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny. So, let's see. So, since we were talking about keeping up with everything, is there anything coming out or that has come out that you think is a really cool tool that entrepreneurs should know about and kind of be working on?
Facebook is like an angel and the devil all at once. It is one of those tools that's like, okay, I need you. You're wonderful. You make my life difficult sometimes. But I feel like a lot of the new Facebook advertising tools, the way that they're managing their advertising platform is something that I really am excited to see what they come up with next. All of the new way ads are looking, with not just the carousel ads, but the ads that start off as imagery and you just add small layers and it makes them into, ads that move and that are attractive to the eye. Though that's something that I feel is really cool.
Yeah.
And it's something that you don't need video production skills for. You don't need, a whole array of tools to manage this. You can do it right within their platform. And there's so many ads out there that any company that is looking at new ways to utilize ads, to structure them, to make your ads stand out, is my best friend. Because especially on social media, people aren't sure what's real, what's paid, what's sponsored. What am I looking at? Is this in front of me because I want to see it, or is it because someone paid for this to get in front of me? And so the more tools available for you to stand out, the better. And so I feel like Facebook is kind of, they obviously own Instagram, but I feel like Facebook is on top of that. They are constantly changing their ad platform to make sure that whatever you want it to be, it's there. However you want to experiment, you can. It just takes the time. You have to take the time to learn,
Yeah. Or in case you don't want to learn it,
have someone do it for you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely. That's pretty fun. So is there anything else you wanted to go over before we kind of roll up?
I don't. One thing that we do offer is a lot of businesses aren't sure where they should start.
Yeah.
Right. And so one thing that when we were creating this company, we thought is people don't want to commit right away without knowing what you're going to give them.
Mm-hmm.
And social media and a website are such a custom thing to you that it's not something that you can just be like, here's our package. This is what you need. And so we offer free audits for websites and social media presence so that we can take a look at what you have and give you a custom recommendation as to what you need. And we find that with small business, this is definitely the way to go because every business is different. It's not at scale. Depending on the industry you're in, the amount of staff you have, how long you've been in business, how you do business with your customers, it's going to be a special plan for you.
Yeah.
And so we offer the audits at no cost for your social media or your website, and we'll give you a custom plan, to work with. And that's whether, obviously, we want you to go with us, but it's not, even if you don't, you get that audit and you can take that and do what you will with it. But we find it's a good first step for any company looking to update their website or to get a website or to jump into social media, to have a plan in front of you instead of just trying to tackle it head on your own.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. I like
Thank
it.
you.
So people that want to learn a little more, reach out to you. How do they find you?
They go to othelloagency.com or they can find us on social media at Othello Marketing.
Awesome. Actually, I forgot to ask. Where did you get the name?
So, funny story. My husband and I, we are a mixed race couple, and so we have always thought of ourselves as like two Othello pieces because the game Othello is a black and white board, and it's also based on strategy. And so when we thought of a marketing company, we wanted to include the multi-race aspect as well as the strategy, and Othello does both.
That's pretty cool. I like it.
Thank you.
Awesome. So thank you guys so much for joining me today, and thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
It's awesome.
Thank you very much.
Okay. And I'll see you all next time. Everyone be good.